Hey everybody, welcome to Your Unpaid Therapist.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Your Unpaid Therapist.
I'm not getting paid. I didn't even get a donut.
Oh, that's sexy though. I like it.
I'm Valery Milagros Ortiz.
I don't know. I am your host, Alikona. She's away. Bradford.
This is Your Unpaid Therapist. Shoo-wah, cha-cha.
It is a new year, so welcome to a new episode on this new year. We're in 2025. It is Your Unpaid Therapist. You guys, we're celebrating with you guys for another year, and it feels insane. Happy New Year, friend.
Happy New Year.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
We're just celebrating Christmas.
We really were.
Guys, so we shoot a lot of these, back to back, get our content ready. And it was so funny. And hopefully you guys saw it. I wasn't prepared for the Christmas episode. I wore like this little taupe sweater. So at least Alikona looks like New York City, boo.
Bling, bling.
I love it. You look like the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about, you guys know it's a new year, new goals, new, do people do affirmations? I don't know. They have lists.
Affirmations, intentions. I know that Matt Maher loves to do a word of the year. Yeah, Matt will do a word of the year, which is awesome.
Yeah. So my friend Valerie did a word of the year. I did a word of the year. And I thought about that, like before this episode, I was like, do I have a word of the year? And I haven't gotten that far yet. But before we get into it, we do our songs. Would you like me to start?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. I don't know the full lyrics of the song, and I could look it up, but I'm just going to go with it because, whatever. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know.
Hey.
Let's go. That's it. Exactly. If you're not watching the video version, Alikona was killing it with the dance moves. I chose that song because no matter where I'm at or what is going on, there's even is a GIF. There's even like GIF for it. And anytime I hear that song, I just think just excitement, full steam ahead. I forgot to mention this on our Christmas episode, but the Valery Ortiz YouTube channel did launch a few days ago. So I'm feeling like, let's go, like just positive energy, focusing on just goals of like, what is it? I'm trying, y'all. I got some coffee
Get
in
her
here.
done. Just get her done.
Get her done, and just betting on yourself. That's kind of where I was, like, just betting on yourself and then trusting that you're going to be taken to the right path, whether it's tomorrow or 4 months from now or 5 years. But bet on yourself. Feeling good energy. Give me your song, boo.
Okay, so
Your
I
cute
mean, in
dress
true
or
tradition,
top.
I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna give you pre-chorus to the chorus. And I mean, I was gonna be a little on the nose and be like, the NSYNC song, "Kiss Me at Midnight," but midnight already happened, so we're going with this one instead.
Get it.
Have these lyrics up just in case, or you know what? I can make them up just in case. Okay.
Like I did.
I'm out of character. I'm in rare form, and if you don't mean it, shit. Hold on, take 2. One more time. I'm out of character. I'm in rare form. And if you really know me, you know it's not the norm. Because I'm doing things I normally wouldn't do. I'm feeling brand new. And if you don't like it, fuck you. Music's on and I'm dancing. Normally I'm in the corner just standing. I'm feeling unusual. Because tonight is my night. Anyways, I'm not myself.
Who sings that? I've never heard of that.
It's actually, I didn't even get to the actual main punchline, which is, tonight I'm not the same girl. It's Christina Aguilera from her Bionic album, which is so good. I used to listen to it over and over again. And just because I wanted to pick this song, I started re-listening to some of the songs on there. And I was like, yes, I love this. Like, such a good album.
I love it.
Yeah. So I picked that because the whole New Year's thing, like not that I'm not myself tonight, but it's stepping out of your comfort zone and becoming somebody else. So into the new year, becoming the person that you want to be so that you can achieve the thing that you want to achieve, which can sometimes be scary. But
Yes.
that's the whole thing, like just leaning into the new in the new year. And one of the things that Valerie, I was trying to say Valerie and cough at the same time. It failed. But we had talked about in the past
Yeah.
how oftentimes in January, like gym memberships are like through the roof. And by the second week, I didn't even realize it was that soon, but by like the second week of January, arrival, show up, check in, whatever you call it, rates are like, I'm like, really? In 2 weeks? But that's a thing. And so I think
Yeah.
with today, I wanted to talk about how we can stick to those goals. Like, I'd love to hear Val some of your like big goals and intentions, but it's like, how do you? And for me, I really think it's having a good why. Because if we have a
Yes.
goal, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. What'd you say?
I say yes.
Oh, yeah, no. If you don't have a good why and you're doing something because it's trendy, like it's trendy to go gluten free, or it's trendy to go vegan, or it's trendy to get a gym membership, then you'll stick with it. Like not even as long as the trend, because there's just no
Yeah.
motivation. So it's like true change happens when you have a strong why. So even if it is like, and deep dive into your whys, right? So, and I want to do that with you, Val. Like once we pick a
Mhm.
goal, but it's like, well, why again? Because I have to say it, it's veganuary, right? Why go vegan? Why? Because for me, it was the animals. For some people, it's the health. Well, why? Well, because I have a long ancestral line of heart disease. Why? Well, because my grandparents didn't eat so healthy. Why? Well, they didn't have the means to do so. So let me honor them now that I have the means and purchase stuff that's a little bit more healthy and get active and moving. Like that why will take you past the fatigue and the boredom and whatever it is and the scariness of the change you need to make. So for you, Val, like what are some big goals and what are your whys?
Um, so before I get into that, I wanted to piggyback on like the some of the statistics with making resolutions and things like that. So it says 3 in 10 Americans made a resolution in 2024. I was kind of shocked by that. Like I don't and I don't know if this is true or not, but I was like 3 in 10. Does that does that make sense to you? Like are you like, yeah, I could see that?
Yes and no. It's crazy because I remember like my ex, he never made a resolution, just wasn't his thing because he was just like, well, we should always be making goals for ourselves. I'm like,
Sure. And
yes.
I hear that. And that's who you and I are anyway. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So 62% of those making those resolutions feel pressured to.
Mm.
79% of New Year's goals involve improving health, which we've talked about and is just so common. And only 6%, I thought this was interesting, of adults will make resolutions to travel more, which I was like, interesting. Because you and I value travel so much, and obviously it's hard to be like my words, like because there's so many other aspects to traveling more.
Mhm.
But I don't know. That was really interesting. As far as mine, what was your question? Like, what are some of my goals, or how do I keep them, or what
Yes,
was?
I want to know. Okay, because I want to hit
Man,
that travel thing, but I'll ask. So I'll ask your question, the question after, because you said the travel. Like, why don't more people travel? And I think it's two things. One, if you didn't grow up experiencing it, you
yeah,
don't see it as something important, and you
right.
don't know what you're missing because you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
You don't, yep,
Two, I mean, I do think money holds people back, but that's
a
where you
lot.
get creative and start doing other means to find ways to travel. Get that frequent flyer miles credit card or whatever. But
Hmm.
also from a evolutionary standpoint, our brain, like our lizard brain tries to protect us, right? And keep us safe. And there is danger subconsciously, lizard brain, in traveling outside of what is uncomfortable. And this can apply to all your goals, not just the travel
Yeah.
in general, but it's like, and from a prehistoric, you go out of the cave, you could get eaten. So we're going to stay home where we know it's safe. We're going to stay where stuff is familiar because we are trying to stay alive. It's just that sometimes
Hmm.
that brain, that lizard brain, doesn't always serve us. But back to my question was like, what is a big, huge goal ambition for you, Val? And how do you hold yourself accountable so that you don't lose momentum, pace, or let fear or anxiety stop you, or even laziness?
Yeah. So this year, like I mentioned in the opening, I launched my YouTube channel at Valerie Ortiz, and the career that I do as an actress, like I'm betting on myself in general. Like you hear way more no's than you hear yeses, but This was just something that with my boyfriend, he definitely did a lot of the like pushing and the just I don't know, like reiterating like the fun of it and like the just what where it can go. And I think with that kind of stuff, especially Alikona knows anything that involves technology or gets me overwhelmed and I just don't know how to do. Um, I just kind of like freeze or like I go on I block I just like malfunction, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like so I think this has really pushed me. My brother came over the other day. I'm in Florida, you guys, and we were up till the 2+ hours of the morning, and he was introducing me to Google Calendar and to how to have like a Google Drive and how to set up like full y'all don't care but like different folders. So basically he's because I'm a very organized person in my physical world, but in technology world I didn't know how to translate that. Like I didn't have the skill set, and so he's showing me all these real basic things that for me were like mind blown. Oh my God, this is gonna make my life so much easier. So even tapping into that, I'm just excited to learn more about technology things that are hard for me, and I don't retain as easily as other people, and keep betting on myself and just do it for the fun of it and because it's something I've never done. And a lot of people have told me to do something in the fitness realm and why don't I have a YouTube channel or why am I not doing certain kind of content, and I just it's been years. So I'm like, okay, no excuses, like here we go. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my goal. Just kind of betting on myself and forcing myself to do things that are difficult
Mm-hmm.
because I can do that with workouts. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can push myself to like be uncomfortable. Like that's not a new thing for me, but I think pushing past and kind of like we talked about this with Kit, the writer, producer, director of Isabel's Garden, that is launching in or being released in 2 days. Or actually, I don't know when this is released, but it's the new year. But I think it might have released already. Yes, by the
January
time we
1st. Today's January 1st.
oh, so 2 days. I was right. Okay. Um, so she mentioned being a student, and I love that. Like she always is a student, and you are like that, Alikona. Like you're always learning and not knowing something stop you. So I want to do more of that.
It's so interesting because you started talking about all the things, and it's like for me thinking about my year and like what I want to do. And the one thing that maybe you or our listeners wouldn't guess is I do not enjoy calling people I don't know. I don't enjoy approaching people I don't know to try to like pitch myself or pitch a project. And
Sure.
yeah, like it's just so weird. When I was younger, I hated, and it's the idea of rejection that I don't care for. It's life. And I'm an entertainer. I mean, how many times have I been rejected? But the point is, I remember, and I think I've told this on the podcast before, but it's like, say I was like, ooh, I want pizza tonight. And I would tell my dad, and he'd hand me the phone because he knew I had a thing about calling people. And so he'd be like, well, if you want pizza, go ahead, just order it. Never mind, I'm not hungry. Like that, it would just stop me in my tracks. And so there are times with certain projects where it's like, well, according to the world and society, you don't just call a production company, or you don't, and you don't. But at the same time, you never know when there's that one chance. So why not
Yeah.
like perfect that little elevator pitch about whatever it is that you're excited about and try to call somebody. So I want to
Yeah.
get better at just connecting with people. But I wanted to say something, and it just like, oh, I think a great way of reinforcing, because when you teach a child, when you teach a puppy, when you teach a kid, whatever, a little piggy, something, a trick, you reinforce the trick and the good behavior. And you're like, here's a little treat. Oh my God, he sat. It's so cute.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
I feel like we always get told to reward ourselves, to treat ourselves, la, 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 la. But it's like, how do we create some sort of positive reinforcement? And so I'd heard this from somebody's fitness YouTube channel, where she was like, did you get in all 5 of your workouts this week? You did? Girl, go buy yourself that spatula. You love cooking. Like it's
Hmm.
small, it's cheap, but go get that Tabitha Brown colorful spatula you've been eyeing at Target as a reward because like you did all the workouts or that sports bra. Like if it's in your budget and you've always wanted that,
Yeah.
high quality sports bra, like buy it. And every time you wear it and you put it on, it's like your badge of honor of like, I did my whole month goal of
Yeah.
working out. And next month, I'm gonna get that bougie juice plan that I've been wanting. It's good for me, but it's also a treat for me. And it just keeps reinforcing the behavior to keep doing the things that are out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Yeah, I like that thought. And it doesn't even have to go as far as like buying yourself something, but just even the acknowledgement. Because as you said that, it's like, oh, you're right. Like I have not really patted myself on the back because there's still a lot to learn, but I have been like, okay, good job. Like, girl, like like look, and my brother too, who was like, look at you being in the t era of technology in 2024, because that's when he was showing me.
I'm just so
So
mad that you just learned how to use a Google Drive, though.
you should be mad. I did. And I like is that weird? Like when did you how long have you been doing it? I don't know, probably a long time.
A very,
And like
very long time. And it's so funny because I just did what you were talking about. Like I was talking to an agent, getting some movie projects together, and I was like, there's a folder for this, and the NDAs are in this one, and this one, and this one, and so I was like, oh.
I did not know Alikona.
Mhm.
And even the Google Calendar, I was introduced to it by another person. And then just this trip, I might have told you the other day, I don't know, I'll talk to you in a little bit. I'm trying to figure out my schedule. I don't know. But, so I just a few days ago in 2024, like set that all up for myself and color coordinated. I'm still not even like with it, but it's good. Like I've always had a paper planner. Like and I've always liked to write and put stickers and different colored pens, and that's how it worked for me. I was a note taker in school and needed different colored pens, and I made, it just visually I needed that. So I hadn't found a system for me with technology.
Mhm.
I don't even know if I'm even saying these things right. So to have that, my brother gift me that, I was like, and that's all it took. It took somebody to help me through it and just give me the time and show me. But I just feel like, man, I was exposed to so much, which, yeah, I'm
A
sure is kind
whole
of sad.
new world.
That should have been my song. Because it does. It is a whole new world, a whole new year. So you were gonna say something earlier about the traveling thing.
Thank you for reminding. Wait, didn't I thought I said it already. Anyway, you made me think of though. You said stickers, and I remember this one time I went to somebody's house and they had children, and in the bathroom, it's so funny because you sit on the toilet and it's like right in front of you, but it's like this grid, with the names of the two kids and all these little like minor goals, accomplishments, or chores, right? Like so and so put their pants on by themselves today, like sticker, and somebody
Hmm.
cleaned their room today and sticker. And I just thought it's fun to take things back to your childhood and make it fun. I don't know, maybe a dude might think it's dumb, but
Hmm.
maybe do make yourself the little chart with the things and like a sticker, something as simple as that. And be like, hell yeah, I got all my stickers this week, y'all.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like some of the stickers that I had for my planner and stuff, some of them had things like that, had some fitness stuff, and it said like way to go, and you would write how many miles you did and just
Mhm.
stupid stuff like that. But I love that stuff. Anyway, so let's transition. So obviously, what I love about a clean slate, right? What it feels like the new year brings to so many people is the sense of starting over. But what's frustrating with that, though, especially like we've talked about with the fitness thing, and just life in general, is like why do we wait? Like why have we gotten into this thing of making of before, if it's a fitness situation, it's like, oh well, I'll just, I'll
In the
start in
new
the new
year.
year. Or if it is like some random goal, it's like, I'll start next year. Like I wonder why that is. Obviously there's like, I don't know.
I mean, in part
Like why do we
procrastination, but I think it's just a mile marker. It's just easy to be like, new year, fresh start. It's a new number, a brand new, and the whole world changes the calendar. And I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, if we called July the new year, would July be when you start
That's what
setting
I'm
those goals?
saying.
I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
but I do think it's important. You know what I love to do, and I may have mentioned this way, maybe look last New Year's, but I think I really enjoy doing is on the 31st of December, I will go through my calendar because my calendar marks stuff I've done that year. And I'll remember and be like, oh, right, in January, I did this cool thing and this cool thing. And in February, I learned this thing. And in March, I went here. And I make a list of all the milestones that I have accomplished in the past year. So in 2024, on December 31st, it's like all the things, whether it's career, personal, spiritual, la, 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 la. And then come the 1st of January, then I set all my goals for 2025. So it's like I've ended the year congratulating myself for having done all these cool things, planned or unplanned. And then from that, my starting point for the next year of all the things. And sometimes it's cool to go back and look at your list from last year and check off the things that you're like, oh my God, this was a goal. And I totally forgot, but it was a goal and I did accomplish it. And da 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 da. And maybe there's some things on that list that I didn't accomplish. And you're like, oh, that sucks. I didn't win the lottery. But that's okay. Cause I mean, I guess that means next year I just got to buy more tickets. you know?
Yeah. I love that. And don't you do
Yes.
don't you do go ahead.
It's in the other room. Otherwise, I'd bring it in here. I used to do vision boards. And then last year, I had made a move to Vegas in October and then moved right back to LA come the following year when I started doing WoW. And one of the things I couldn't take with me was my vision board because I went by car and was like, well, this big square rectangular thing takes up a lot of space with all my stuff. And then I was also flying back and forth and can't be
Mhm.
on the plane. I mean, I could take my vision board on the plane. I'm sure people wouldn't appreciate it.
But you know.
So I started something called a vision book because I felt like, oh, well, this is more portable. So I sure did take myself to Marshall's and found this royal purple velvet book with gold embroidery. And it said like magic spells. And I was like, yeah, because my life is magical. And so I
Mhm.
use that as my vision book. And each page, like fold out, it's like I have one that talks about money. I built a boo, which I mentioned before. I built a boo, guys. And
Yes.
which basically the short summary of that is I cut out pictures of people I've either dated in the past or people like celebrity wise that would be my ideal. And around each person, I wrote all their good qualities. Like I would
Mhm.
pit, if I was building a boo, I would take this person's creativity and drive, and I would take this person's compassion and kindness and this person's motivation towards fitness. And I would build my boo and make one human out of it. And
Mhm.
so the process is fun, it's funny, it's creative, and those light energies are what draw cool stuff into your life versus the like boring list or the like no men or da 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 or no jobs. Well, he needs to be this and he needs to be like it's just such different energy. So, anyways, I can travel with it, I can go wherever with it, and journal if I really want to. So yeah.
Yes, I love that. Do you have something that happened in 2024 that was like the most exciting or you're most proud of or just what the highlight? Was there a highlight? Just one though.
Mm, okay, that's tough because
As you think, I'll say mine.
okay.
My highlight was traveling to China with my mom and doing a half marathon on the Great Wall. It was a bucket list thing for me in general. Seeing the Great Wall just because like you could see it from space. Like I remember learning that as a kid and being like, what? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And always imagining like, man, I really want to see that one day. And so when I learned that you could do a race with if you are new to us, and so I love running, and I found a lot of just therapy. Really, that's like my therapy. It
Mm-hmm.
helps my body and my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was like, I'm going to do this. So being able to accomplish that, do the traveling, as you, Alikona knows that we both really, really enjoy like immersing ourselves in like new places, even as scary and as I like me some routine. But I like a week or so away from that. Like oh, I love it so much. So it was the highlight of my year. By far. And like I want to do that again. Like I want to find another race and I low key like in the last I want to say 5 hours. I'm like, no, maybe like seven. I'm like, am I gonna find one for 2025?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That would be
So yeah,
awesome.
what was your highlight? Do
That's
you find
uh, that's tough because there were so many unexpected cool events this year. So I guess I will be broad in saying the highlight was finding, and I've said this in a past episode, but finding satisfaction in where I am right now. In that
Mm,
moment, I had realized like I'm doing a job that's fun, that's in the entertainment industry. I'm making great money. I'm meeting new people. I'm hanging out with this new person at the time that I was just having fun
having
with.
fun?
And in some senses, that's out of character for me. So it's just, I enjoyed being out of comfort zone and growing and learning and allowing somebody else to unknowingly force me to grow. Does that sense?
Yeah. I really love hearing that for so many reasons. I think it's, and we've talked about this so much. It's so hard, and this is important with when making resolutions and having goals, especially for people who like us who make, like your ex have mentioned, goals throughout the year. It's not just like New Year's resolution, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love the fact that you got to a point, and I want to encourage other people to do that more, like celebrate where they are at the moment. We've talked about in past episodes with people, especially in the entertainment industry, being like, "So, what do you got? What do you have next?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, can we celebrate this moment
Mm-hmm.
just right now? Because like, I might not wake up tomorrow, and it's weird because you would never want to answer that question that way, and it just feels very dark. But at the same time, I'm like, geez, and I know it's all with the best intention.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate that. I hate that question so much.
Well, I think for me, it's always been challenging to be happy with where I'm at. Not that I'm not a happy person. So I'm put that out there. I'm a very happy person on most days, but being happy with where I'm at because I'm so career focused and because it's so important to me, which may or may not be healthy, but because it is such a central part of my thought process in my everyday life that I've
Mm,
always been part of the hustle and always been part of the like, got to do more, got to work harder, got to do this, got to do that, da, 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 da. Like, I don't have time for socializing. I don't have time for friends. I love you, but I'm not where I need to be yet. So there's this constant energy of like, go, 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 tightening,
yeah.
not what's the word I'm looking for, but constricting
Mm,
on my energy. And so to find a place where, and I'm saying this to you who has a large career in your brain, and not just you, Valerie, but you as a listener, if you have big goals in your life, sometimes it's hard to look at where you're at and be like, I'm cool and I'm going to celebrate that I have this mediocre job and be happy, even though it's not what I want forever. I'm happy that I have la 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 la, whatever you have. And I think that again, that's always been a struggle for me. So to find that and just give myself permission instead of feeling guilty, because that was the problem. I felt guilty for being content because, or happy
mm,
because it would put me into content. And if I was in content, I would lose my drive. So it was a
yeah.
fear based situation.
Yeah, which is so out of character. Like you losing your drive is like, no. Um, so yeah, that's so honest and interesting. And I do encourage people like as you're making those goals, like do the book, do the vision board or just, I'm sure there's a app that has a virtual vision board. It
Yes, there
probably
is.
does. Now I want to look it up. Um, but do all that. But then also take the time to and you do this, Alikona, right? Like, and you kind of talked about it when you looked at the calendar, is look at all the things you did do already and where you are and all the experiences you had the year before and just be there now with and sit with that gratitude because I feel like that does really move you along to the next thing.
You know what? When I
Because you're sitting in that positivity. Go ahead.
was gonna say when I do those lists too, I've come to realize, and this is a self-indulgent moment, if you will, but sometimes because in the midst of lifing, things feel like they're far in between, like celebratory things or good things. You're like, whatever. It feels like such a long gap between good stuff. But then when I go back and I look at the list of just stuff I've done, I'm like, huh, I've done some really cool shit. Like looking at
Yeah.
it on paper, I'm like, I've lived a life. wow. And it takes that to recognize like this is pretty cool. I'm grateful.
Hmm. Yeah, I like when I think about I've talked had conversations with Liv and just like goals that I hope she has, just as a little girl and as a woman. Um, I'm like, I think I've shared this on a podcast before, maybe just with you, but I was like, just my wish for you, Liv, is that you just travel the world, is that you see all the things you want to see. Um, because I think that's what I'm most proud of myself, of just like all the places I've been able to go to. And you do feel like this is so fun, which makes me want to do it more, which like I'm
Mhm.
like itching to like again, I obviously went to China in the beginning of the year and then Napa and little places here and there, but I'm just like, obviously went to Hawaii. I'm like, I wanna I wanna go. I wanna go. Where are we gonna go?
Jono say, but I want to ask you. So as we come close to the ending of this episode and our new year, what is one tip or not tip, but just like piece of advice if I was coming to you and I was like, oh, I just can't seem to stick with this. Like, what's one practice that you do that you think really helps you stick to a goal?
Very much like what you said, I have a clear cut vision of the finish line, and I mean that literally and figuratively. Like with just China, I'll use that as an example. Like before I went and as I was training, like I visualized, and even on my like local basic runs, I visualized myself like, and I felt the feeling of crossing the finish line or like climbing certain like steps. And I just was so excited. So I constantly, with certain goals, I very vividly see um that end result, and I do it with acting too. Like I've seen myself get awards a lot, just in my brain. And so it's just, you're just like, ah, it's gonna be so fun, like, oh my gosh. And like then my mom's gonna be there, like I'm gonna say this and it's gonna be our inside joke. So just see that finish line as clear, as specific as you can, to motivate that why on the days that you are extra tired, that you don't have as much motivation that you normally have. And it should help you through, and also give yourself grace on like whatever that is. Like some days are going to be shitty, some days you're going to be extra tired, some days it's not going to turn out the way you're going to turn out, some days you're going to wear a taupe sweater on a Christmas episode. Like it's some days life be happening.
Mm.
um and that's it, right? That's part of it, but clear vision.
Got it. So that's funny because I'm like, you took my answer. But that's exactly what I do, except I do it on my walks. And again, from
Mm.
the smells, from the textures of the touches, the vision, the colors, like everything about it, I think. And it's not like I consciously am like, so that I stay motivated, but I do know that I use my imagination a lot and have that vision. And then do the in between moments, right? So it's like my vision is to do this particular movie. You've heard me say it 90 a billion times, and you're so tired of me talking about Dwayne Johnson, but that's my vision. And not only am
Mhm.
I visioning these scenes or the being on set, but it's the moments in between of the funny jokes in between that or the laughing about the da 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 that are exciting to me because I'm like, this person is so awesome. Like I just know they're so awesome. And I'm so lucky to be working with such an awesome person. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't want to yammer too much because I know we need to get to our what
What
ifs.
if?
And I'm just going to gently toss it to Val first.
Okay, what if the Valerie Ortiz channel, amongst all the other things that are going to be associated with the beginning of that creative space for me, what if it opens doors that I haven't even thought about yet? What if it opens and introduces collaborations with people that I've been wanting to work with in different spaces, because the channel has a lot of different different playlists. And what if it allows me to connect with people more than I could ever before, which has always been like one of the things that I love the most about the podcast, about entertainment, about fitness. So I look forward to and I can't wait to see all of these worlds collide and expand because I do have a thing called Val's Vault of some of my favorite unpaid therapist episodes. Those are going to be on the channel as well. So what if like all of my worlds collide and make my wildest dreams come true?
Okay. So my what if is what if, so 2024 was a big year, but what if 2025 is gigantic? What if it surprises me over and over again? What if all the people that I need to flow into my life in order to make things come to fruition just literally flow into my life? It is not a struggle. It's not a fight. It's not a search. It's literally just walking into a location or whatever. And the powers that be, the energies that I put out, the magnets that I put out create a force that pull in all the things, all the necessary tools that I need in order to have all my dreams come true. The end.
Yes. I encourage you guys as you're listening to think of your own what ifs. I hope we always, that's one of my favorite parts of the podcast. Really, honestly, I love it so much. Happy New Year. Thank you again for starting this new year with us, listening to us. We can't wait to bring more connection through you with you. Don't forget, we do have a Patreon page, and we do hope to have more of these connections through the Patreon page. And we're gonna work on getting some more exciting perks for 2025. So let that be a thing for you. Isabel's Garden is going to be premiering on in streaming. You can rent it or buy it in just 2 days, January 3rd. And you please subscribe to at the Valerie Ortiz channel on YouTube.
All right, guys. Adios. Thank you so much.
Adios.
Happy New Year.
2025.
Kiss me at midnight. Dance until the morning light. Just wanted to end that with a little ditty for you to start your day, end your day, or in between your day.
Okay. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Goodbye, guys.